Welcome to Grumpy Old Avatars with your hosts, Malvin Zerator, Deuce and Dragonart, and Slim Warrior.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Grumpy Old Avatars. This is the show where we wind down, moan and groan and giggle a bit at the end of the week for your delectation. And we are grumpy today. I'll tell you why. Over here in the UK, it has gotten hot all of a sudden. No spring here, straight into summer. And summer brings heat, and heat brings laziness. And I've been having a nap, and I nearly didn't wake up in time for the show, so there. Anyway, we've been away for a couple of weeks, but we couldn't wait any longer. We thought we'd better get back on form here and prove to you that the show is still up and running. So I'm joined as ever by my wonderful co-host, number one at least, Slim Warrior. Hiya, Slimmy.
Hello.
And we've got two familiar guests in the studio. Well, one of them is going to be very familiar to all of you, I'm sure. She's well known about town, so to speak, or well known about the world here in Second Life, even. It's Bevan Whitfield. Hi, Bevan.
Hello.
Great to see you. And finally, we haven't got Doozer with us today, but a friend of hers, Slowhunting Tigerpaw, agreed to pop in at the last minute to replace her. So, welcome, Slowhunting.
Do I talk now?
Yes, you can talk now, Slowhunting. It's very good to see you.
Oh, thank you, Malburns. You're a very polite boy.
Well, thank you. You ain't seen nothing yet, but I won't go into that. Hopefully you won't see anything. Okay, so what a week it is, or what a 3 weeks it's been, I should say, because we have been gone a while. All sorts of things have been happening while we've been away, and I think it is considered that spring is here and in the air. How that is affecting us, I don't know. Some people say that spring is the silly season, so maybe we will be as silly as we are grumpy tonight. But I'm going to hand you over, as ever, to Slim Warrior to get us started. Slimmy.
Well, I have to say that I hope the spring is better than the one that's in the armchair that I'm sitting, because it's actually sticking right up my bum and it's really uncomfortable, and it's very hard to be not grumpy when there's a spring in the seat. Don't you find that when you sit on a really old sofa, and we used to have these really springy things like springs on mattresses, and they don't have those anymore, do they? It's all this, I don't know, it's like consolidated foam on beds. They're not bouncy anymore.
Yeah, they're not metal prongs.
They're not, are they? I mean, there is nothing like a properly sprung bed where you can actually bounce up and down it. You can jump around and do stuff like that. But anyway, no, I've been saving up my grumpiness for 3 weeks, actually. And my really big moan this week is about social media. It's about Twitter. And it's about Facebook. And these things, because I mean it's a bit like sticking your head in a haystack and screaming, because nobody's actually really listening, are they? It doesn't matter how much you yell and you scream and you tell people what you're doing, everybody's just telling you what they're doing, and that's made me really grumpy. Yeah. So I've got quite a lot to say and nobody's listening.
That's a good point. It's a good theme, actually, because I mean, I tweet and stuff, as everybody knows, but it's an output publishing medium for me. I mean, I don't use it for the listening. I wonder how many people are like that. I mean, I do pick up on direct messages and stuff, but yeah, good point. Bevan, and now talking of social media, Bevan, you are the great, well, you call it pinging, don't you? You've got a ping button, which presumably blasts every social network in sight when you want to say something. How do you feel about it?
Springs ping, don't they? Springs, don't they make that ping sound?
Well, they make it, those of you who get hit by them make a yelp sound.
I have no idea if this is going to work.
Oh, you're fine.
Pinging or the springing?
Pinging, yeah, pinging, springing, or talking.
But you guys could just hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, no problem. Yeah.
Oh,
wow,
yes,
guys.
Bevan, we can hear you, and you look very pretty.
Well, thank you very much, Slowhunting. I like the way I spun that name. Yeah, ping or systematic are wonderful ways to get information out. And I really, truly believe that everything that we're doing in Second Life is very important for Outworld people to understand what we are doing as educators and nonprofits and businesses. 3D is the way to go. So I ping as often as I can.
Do you think there's a risk, like Simi said, of being lost in the haystack?
It's hard, yes. Slimmy has a very good point there. I do believe in, quality over quantity. So every single different social media. Actually, tonight I pinged 75 different things besides Facebook, and I took a look at them. There were like 60 I kind of know about, but they do say you should probably like pick 5 or 6 and just stick with those.
I don't even know there was 60 or 70.
Well, actually, there's more if you go to the share. I think it's called share.com. There's 500. You just pick a couple and just do your job and do what is important to you and what you think that people should know about what you're doing and what we care about.
I Twitter quite a lot with news items, and sometimes I post to Facebook too, and sometimes I post to LinkedIn for various things, but my Twitters get relayed to everything else that I've got, and one of those is Facebook, and people say, well, why are you posting stuff 3 times? And, I go rooting around in Facebook for as best I can. After a couple of hours, I probably find the culprit. And then I get rid of it, and then I check, and then I'm still posting twice. A couple of days later, I'm posting the same thing 3 times again. And one of the culprits is something called Friend Feed, which I didn't even know I belonged to, but it's doing it all for me.
Can I quick say something very funny? If you've got Google Talk or G Talk, and just change your the moment that you're living, like hi everybody or happy Monday or I'm off to a MetaMeets meeting or whatever. Anything you type in there goes directly to Friend Feed. I had no idea. Did you know that, Mel?
Friend Feed seems to be a big culprit. I mean, I haven't actually loaded the page of Friend Feed for donkey's years, but apparently it gets everything. I put in everything.
Yes.
And then send it back to the same place it came from. So I'm very suspicious of that one, actually. Although I do come across people who use it quite a lot, Friend Feed in its own right. So. How about you, Slowhunting? Do you engage in any of this social media stuff?
Yeah, I just want to say to Slimmy about the beds, I have sat on old things for half a century, and I'm just sick to death of it.
Yeah, they're a bit pointy, aren't they?
So,
I think we lost Slowhunting. Hello?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Do you tell me, Slowhunting? Do you use social media, things like Facebook and I was going to say Skype for a minute, Twitter and Friend Feed, or are all these things lost on you?
I don't know about Friend Feed, but I use Twitter and I use Skype and I use my Facebook and I use the internet a lot for porn.
Ooh.
Oh.
God, that's a real subject I'm going to get grumpy about now. Porn. It's not enough of it, is there? I mean, you have to actually Google to find it. But you've got to Google to find it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And if you put that word in there, all sorts of things come up.
Indeed they do. You should have been here a few weeks ago, Slowhunting. We had a guest on, Chuck, who actually makes very useful...
Stroker.
Stroker, yes.
Yeah, it's one of our best friends. And we have
Does that come up under porn, then?
I
Well,
beg
it's
your
so funny.
pardon?
Our friend Dratster Dupre, who's a journalist who does a lot of machinima from Second Life, actually
He
had
films porn?
well, he had a bit of a
Does
documentary
not.
up earlier this week, and
No,
oddly enough, I
that's all I'm
take to
doing.
it. It was definitely untwitterable, although I have got a copy of it to use on another show.
God, I've just realised, you guys, I've been doing it all wrong. I've been trying to promote myself on social media and I have not once included the word porn. I must immediately go and include the word porn on every tweet and everything that I write on Facebook. I'm
Okay.
famous.
Well, you'll be amazed at the reaction you get if you do that.
Yes, I think you get attention. It's funny. It's funny how in this day and age, when there is so much of it about, as if there hasn't always been, people are still suckers and they click on it. You'd think they've seen enough. I've got an erotic art feed that comes through every day, and it keeps on getting spammed by porn sites. And I scroll through it, and it's just meaningless to me. But never mind.
I must say, I do love our stream. Sorry,
No,
Slowpool.
it's all
No,
right.
why am I calling you Slowpool? I don't know. I've forgotten your name already. Sorry, Slow Hunting.
It's a lovely name. It reminds me of sort of almost Native American Indian sort of names. Slow Hunting.
Well, I'm just wondering, because we're getting some very helpful suggestions from our audience here at Grumpy Old Avatars tonight, and also the word virgin. So I think that if we included the word virgin porn, we could all, get some very good results.
We could
possibly.
retire, and quite
Good.
frankly, it wouldn't be too soon for me.
I thought Virgin Porn was Richard Branson in his hot air balloon, but never mind.
Yeah, and we probably
So-
gonna be burned in hell or something like that as well. Virgin porn.
Burn
for
in
heaven's sake.
hell. Oh, you can't live your life for the next one. You just have to get on with the one you're in.
Exactly. It's the name of my next album. Thank you, guys. Virgin porn.
Virgin
I'm going to hit
porn.
the charts in no time.
Talking of publicity, I always did a double turn during the week. I sometimes pop into these second-hand shops to look at second-hand books and things, and I actually found a big coffee table book on the shelf there, and the title of the book was Slim Girl Fat.
I thought you said you found a big cocky table. Sorry.
I thought for a second, hey, Slimmy's got a big rock and roll coffee table book about her. But it turned out to be a cooking book, so...
What, Virgin porn with Slimmy on it is a cookbook? And you guys never told me?
Shh. I told you, my plans this weekend were so top secret, even I didn't know what they are. Shush.
Oh, I think I need another drink.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Have one out slow.
But
Anyway,
I think on a more serious note, I think we are onto a thing when we are talking about social media and the fact that we all use it and we rely on it to get the message out, and we rely on it quite heavily for communication about the things that we're doing each day and things that we're involved in. And I'd really like to know whether it works, because I have to say that the amount of time one can spend working on your social media, marketing and promoting and doing things, are the results really working in your favour at the end of the day?
It takes hours and hours to type this stuff, You don't do it just like that, like the wind. I'm very interested in Bevan's pinging button.
Well, I have a real problem with typing. I think I must have been doing that wrong as well. I've been recording all my tweets. Damn, I knew I was
So
doing
you're
something.
using voice.
Maybe I should sing them. I'm going to sing my tweets from now on.
Yeah, do audio tweets.
Oh, do that!
You might become a
Yes,
star
audio
for
Twitter.
the singing Twitter.
You become
Yes.
a twit star.
I could. A twit virgin porn star.
We also have the Twitch new live video show. I think we should also do a show with somebody just singing. Remember Dee Dee did that, but it wasn't Twitter, but it was something else, And there's all this stuff out there. All of these people doing YouTubes and how to do something or how to make something or I think
But at the end of the day, who's listening though? This is what concerns me. Who is actually listening or reading?
Probably a bunch of virgin porns.
Yes. Or porny virgins.
You know, I don't know whether you've noticed, but every time someone says the word porn on this sofa, someone else comes into the audience.
Or that could have been one of my pings.
I don't was that a better porn ping?
You're pinging porn.
A porn ping.
I'm not going to ping porn. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Grumpies talk porn pings, Bevan.
Well, we seem to be achieving some success just by the mere fact that we're even mentioning it. And I would like to point out, actually, that I'm quite grumpy that I didn't think of the word porn, and Slowhunting did.
Darling, I've been at it longer than you have.
With springs as well.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, sex wasn't invented by you, you know. Somebody did it before you.
I know, but I want to know whether they actually tweeted about it and was it successful. I mean, it's all about marketing, really, at the end of the day. Does it work?
Actually, I think what works is memes. Memes are... Am I saying that properly, Melbourne's? The mem.
I don't know what that is.
He
Is
doesn't
that something
know.
I haven't tried yet?
Well, there are things that go viral, and then there's you get the hashtags too, and people follow the hashtags now, don't they, rather than the individuals. And I think it's
Just LOL or any kind of crazy, like all of a sudden, like we're using the word bored, we're using the word ping, we're using the word, LOL, we're using all these different words, and all of a sudden, bang, in no time at all, it's caught on. So yeah, viral. Yes, viral.
Oh, okay. Well, you just given me a brilliant idea then, because I just suddenly realised that I really have been doing it wrong, because I should just call my album Hashtag by the Virgin Porns, or by the Porn Virgins.
Oh shit!
And I could be successful.
We've
I
got to go
think that might be true.
go copyright that right now.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Type it.
Hashtag by
No, do it
Porn
right now.
Virgins.
Let's see. So hashtag.
I think that there is a real danger, though, and I noticed this when people talk about memes and hashtags and things like that. People who are sort of on the leading edge of this stuff and know it, obviously, like their eyes light up. But the average person, doesn't actually know what half of these abbreviations mean. I mean, people who follow my tweet probably know what LL means, Linden Lab, but anybody else wonders what on earth I'm talking about, And I keep listening to the local radio here in London, and one of them that I have on all the while, and every DJ on it now has a Twitter feed. This has all happened in the last year, except for maybe one or two of them, and they clearly don't really know what Twitter is, except that they go on their show and they Twitter the old comments, and then they sit there reading the comments coming in while they're on their show. But they show very little knowledge of all the more subtle things going on.
Don't you think that's what a lot of people feel about Twitter? And I know this because for the last few days, I haven't written any of the hashtag porn things at all, and I've had absolutely no success whatsoever. Is that the majority of people don't reply to people's tweets. They're just very concerned with tweeting about themselves, and they're not expecting any sort of conversation. And I have to say that I like conversations with people. I prefer to have, a group of people that I can have, a bit of an update with, and a bit of a hashtag fun time with, and as Bevan said earlier, which is very important, it's quality over quantity. But the number of people who don't bother to reply, who don't bother to, because they're so busy doing their thing. And I'm a bit concerned because somebody's just sent me some full perm sculpted tendrils, and I don't know what they are, but I think it's a prompt that I should be using the word porn virgin.
Our cameraman, Robusta Sachs, has just put a note in Skype to us here saying he hates people who spam his Twitter feed with their personal pointless bullshit. And I very much agree with that and what you're saying, Gerslin.
Yes.
I think the problem is, I Twitter, for example, to just post news things, and I know that people follow that stream. They don't reply to me. There's no reason to, but they do. If the thing I've twittered is interesting to them, they click on the link and find out the thing that I'm giving them a link to. And as a broadcast medium, tipster style, that is fine. But I mean, the Twitter is so big now and so cluttered. If you follow more than a couple of people, the conversation's dead. And Facebook, which I use for much more socially, is almost worse because I put everybody I know in Facebook, real life avatars, you name it.
Yes, I do too.
It's the one hub where I've got everything, and there is so much traffic there. I just can't follow it. So I've got a little window which is on my desktop showing the incomings. It refreshes about every 2 minutes, and there's another 50 or 60 entries which I can't be able to scroll on the list. So, I tend to search for things that will be of interest, and I find them myself, and then I just republish them. But if it comes to getting in touch with a close circle of friends, I either use Skype or I've got a company, or Meta World Broadcasting has got a company sort of version of Twitter which is private. You can only get into it with the email address. So that's a back channel where I know it's just a small group. But I think with all these public social networking, I mean, there is probably an art. I'm getting quite serious here, but from your point of view,
yes, there is. You're right.
It's art where you use it for publicity and for engaging with, for want of a better word, your customers, your audience. But I don't really think. I think it's just too big now to be a true conversational medium. Yeah. It can be a feedback medium.
You're very right. Twitter is less sociable than it used to be. Facebook is definitely a social area where you can take your time a little bit more, and you can always resort to messaging people.
Yeah.
If you want to have a more sort of private conversation, if you're not using Skype, whereas Twitter now is one big stream of information that actually most people don't give a shit about.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes. There's people on Twitter that I used to converse with in the early days when there were very few people on it. And they're still on it, and all they Twitter now is sort of the kids have just achieved something or other, and things like that, which really aren't of any great interest because it's just lost in the traffic.
May I jump in?
Sure. Yeah, yes, of course.
I'm okay. You guys know what I do in social media and things like that. Twitter's almost made me frightened, and I was just like reading Robustus saying something about people who spam my Twitter feed with their personal pointless stuff. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm in a really bad position because a lot of the people doing that are people that we actually really engage with in Second Life. And for me, the hard part is like, okay, where, I use Plurk. You guys know I'm a Plurker. So if I want to, like, say I took my shoes off, I'm having a glass of wine, my kid just like got, a new whatever, did something great, wonderful, fantastic, that's where I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that in Plurk. Twitter, it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do now with Twitter. I said, like, quality over quantity. I read everything every day. It's like you're supposed to add the Twitter followers, and we have the list thingy, so I've got my SL lists and stuff like that. All I'm basically doing right now is, like, I'll whip over to Facebook, which I kind of, no, I don't like it. I do not like Facebook at all. And it's just, but a lot of the cool kids that I really, really love to hear about are there. So I'll whip over there for an hour and I'll flip through it. I'll like it or share it and things like that. Twitter is the thing for me with Twitter is I get all these like real life people. Not just by the way, everybody in the audience, I'm a Second Lifer, and I don't have time to be Elisa Butler in real life. If I have to speak to anybody in real life, I'll just pick up the phone and call my family. I don't even have any of that going on for me. But it's very hard to juggle, and I am very proud of the fact, though, I've got like Gartner Report following me, that I've got IBM following me, that I've got Linux following me, that I've got some like really huge core corporations following what I'm doing in Second Life. But I took the time out to focus on exactly what I want to do using social media. and that's to make me famous in virtual worlds and social media. I'm not going to tell you what I had for lunch. I'd love to. No, I would. That's
what did you have for lunch, Bevan?
I haven't eaten in 2 days, but whatever. But,
so you don't actually have any lunch, so you could tweet about it. I think you should plug that. Is that actually I haven't had lunch for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, if I plurk that, then all my best friends are going to like bark at me. But seriously speaking, though, speaking about food, there's a huge group of foodies on there, and Jewel and Toxic and I really would love to put together a cooking show somehow, some way. But this is not why I'm barking. Actually, what I want to since I have the sense.
I think slow hunting is suffering somewhat.
I'm so sorry.
Let's use slow hunting.
Are you choking on some baguette or?
It's my whiskey.
She's choking on the tweets.
I'm choking on my whiskey. My whiskey went down the wrong way.
Having a wee little toss, are we?
Yeah.
But I must say that you brought up a very good point there, Bevan, is that when you go to Facebook, you go in, and it's not your favourite social media platform, and you go in and you have a whiz through, and you click on you like, and you click on share, and perhaps that has become more important than socialization, is that people are desperate for you to like what they do, to share their porn or whatever it is that they're writing about, and that has become, perhaps that's a sign of the times where people are not using it; they're just using Facebook for marketing their brand. And I will admit, I use Facebook to market my music. It has become a horrible part of it, and I want people to like my page because then it gives me a higher profile.
I think Twitter is the culprit on marketing, because I get endless new followers every day. I've lost count of how many followers I've got, and I don't even check them out and follow them back.
You never reply to anybody, Mel. We do know that. We have noticed.
Half clearly have nothing to do with what I do. It's just a ploy. By saying they're following me, I get an email that makes, psychologically makes me want to follow them back. And if I follow them back, my stream is more cluttered with more marketing.
Yes.
And
but we have to read.
On Facebook, I feel like by and large, the communications I get are from people I know. It's less, there's less marketing in it. But I mean, it's well known.
Well, I've been threatened. I've been threatened on these places. It's all very well saying this. It's not jolly, and it might be used for marketing, but quite frankly, I have been threatened on these places by people that I would sooner not speak to.
Yeah, that's this is another thing about Facebook. It is just too pervasive and.
That's a very good point you brought up, because I got an email today which concerned me a little bit. It was somebody, I get invites for people who want to join my Facebook page, and today I got an email saying somebody would like me to share my phone number on Facebook. And why on earth would I want to share and it was an email that came from Facebook. Is this particular person wanted me to share my personal phone number with them for their Facebook, blah, 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 whatever it was. And I just thought, of course it's not going to happen, but I just suddenly thought that kind of went past my privacy levels on a really high level there. Is why would anybody want my phone number to be put on Facebook? If I wanted you to know what it was, I would put it on my Facebook myself. But somebody requested it so that they could add it to their Facebook thingy, whatever it was. And I was just a little concerned about that.
Yes, you have.
Well, I think that happens. It happens. You get people posting in a threatening tone. They send you messages that you are not sharing what they want to read, and they have the imagination of slugs, really. I mean, who the hell wants to share their all this stuff with how's your father from Timbuktu? too. I don't know.
He's doing quite well, actually, seeing as you asked. He's got 3 gigs a week, but nobody ever asked me that. They just wanted my phone number.
He's got 3 gigs a week.
My father from Timbuktu.
Who's on 3 gigs a week?
Now, Robusta's Hacks, I see, has written in this back thingy, he has written, how about putting Twitter? Doing a Twitter for all these people that, have got nothing really to share with us.
Unfortunately, that word has got terrible connotations if you live in England. And I think that
in America,
it would be along the lines of virgin porn.
Yeah, that would even...
You're class.
Yes.
That would, yeah, not...
I like to say, and thus tweet Malbones. Very Shakespearean.
Yes.
Very Shakespearean, yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do we all feel about the social media? Do you all feel that it has changed? I mean, I feel in the last couple of, the last few months or so that the whole feel of these social medias has taken quite a big turn for the less socialisation and more to the, oh my God, I need my brand to be noticed.
Well,
I do.
yes, I think that's true.
I really want to jump in. This is where my barking is going to start, by the way.
Good.
Are you guys familiar with Empire Avenue?
Yes.
No.
Melbourne's, really. Okay, it's absolutely huge. And it's a stock market type thing. And it's huge. It's really, really huge. And it's almost, how should I put this, almost like a gamification thing. But, check it out, Empire Avenue. Batgirl signed off. Now I've got a bunch of, other really important people doing it. Once again, though, it's another huge, this is a cross between, by the way, in Facebook, I don't game. By the way, I was playing with the friend, the buying the friend thing. That was years ago. But Empire Avenue is purely buying your friends and getting...
Oh, I remember. I get messages saying, I have shares in you.
Oh my gosh! Oh, but
Yeah, I've had the same.
But I don't have your name, Slowhunting Tigerpaw.
No, I don't mean that I have shares in you. I mean other
okay.
people have got shares in me. And I don't know what they're talking about. Have I signed up?
Oh, you signed up? Okay, fine. Right, Empire.
No, I didn't know I had.
Okay, that's
it's a really weird application.
Hey, but I'm telling you, Rivers Run Red and Nokia are going crazy with it right now. And they're really trying to figure out what the implications for further levels of virtual worlds will be with this. And last night I had a really long talk with Kwame in the chat with the CEOs about all of this. Now, the CEOs don't know that we're so hardcore in Second Life in that. Actually, some guy, we don't even know, has something to do with baseball or some icky guy, whatever, said, he actually posted something saying, oh, I hope the Second Lifers leave. And we turned around and destroyed him. That quickly. We all bought one share and then sold it. It was Second Lifers we are a huge community.
Taken over.
And take over. And so, last night, that's why I was up so late, was talking to a bunch of Second Lifers, hardcore Second Lifers, about what's going on with the Empire Avenue. I don't really have a lot of time to do it, but it is, I must say, it's another amazing way to meet other people. We don't know yet what the end process will be. So that's why I'm kind of grumpy, well, at least I got to talk to the CEOs last night about what is this all about? Is this another game?
But at the same time, don't you feel that that's kind of it's a gimmicky thing? It's something to sidetrack you for at least an hour a day while you search through if anybody's bought stocks and shares in you, whether you need to go and buy stocks and shares in somebody else. There is no monetary gain for it. It's kind of it's just.
it's connecting with people. All of a sudden, bang! I've got all these guys on my Facebook and my
but
Twitter.
it's on
that are
such
interested.
a basic level. It's about money. It's not even about the person. It's about you know who.
It's more like the gamer thing of earning reputation points.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
how's my reputation doing?
having 10 new CEOs of giant major corporations on my LinkedIn is, sorry, not a bad thing.
Well, that's another, because Bevan mentioned earlier, I mean, one thing that makes me really grumpy is, I was thinking of LinkedIn earlier. I mean, to me, LinkedIn is a professional network, and I get very annoyed when I get LinkedIn, which are just referrals of Twitters and things, because I you know, LinkedIn has sort of lost the plot when that starts happening. But Bevan mentioned something very early on, which I think is is crucial, and that is, you know, if I want to engage in a conversation with people about a particular topic or something, where I want to do it is I want to meet them in a room, in a space, in Second Life or somewhere like that. I don't want to go into an endless, you know, dialogue on the way. I'm distracted by that. I'd like to sit them all down in one place and have a conversation. And to me, you know, Second Life is the place for conversation, not all these social networks anymore. You know, they're for referrals, maybe for quick news bursts, publicity and stuff. And the thing I miss most, and most people who know me are pretty grumpy about this, is when Second Life actually abandoned the Slim client that they ran in Box, because
I know, it was so sad when I left, wasn't it?
That's be in touch with my core group of friends who are in Second Life when I couldn't be in Second Life. Whereas now they are lost in the jungle that is the social networks.
But I mean, seriously, guys, out of all of this, I mean, we have all these social networks that we use. How effective are we at actually talking to the people that we want to? Because, as you were just saying, Mel, on LinkedIn, I've got a lot of connections on LinkedIn. How often do I talk to those people on LinkedIn? Rarely. Rarely. I get lots of requests and I'm added, and you know, how much do you communicate with those people at the same time as how much do you communicate with those people on Facebook? How much do you communicate with those people within, you know, on your list in Second Life? And really we're talking about, you know, just how effective are these things at socialization versus what we're trying to promote or plug or sell or, you know, talk about.
Well, have
you actually widened your network because of these in actual terms of being communicative?
Well, yes and no. In my case, you know, I think it's connectivity. By and large, anybody who wants to be my friend on Facebook, unless they clearly don't have anybody in common with me and they're purely a marketer, I normally approve them. It's like one gigantic contact list. But I'm the exact opposite on LinkedIn. To get me to join your network on LinkedIn, I refuse absolutely most of them. I mean, my hard and fast rule is anybody I don't know in real life doesn't go, or haven't worked with, doesn't get on my LinkedIn network. Whereas Facebook's the other way around. I treat it as a sort of mixing pool of everything. But that's a choice I've made, and I just get very annoyed when something like LinkedIn is being used for conversation when it's supposed to be a professional networking site where you can.
Well, it always was, wasn't it?
Ah.
LinkedIn. I mean, I've been on LinkedIn for a long time, and I have used it simply as a professional network, and nothing to do with the music that I make. It's been for other things, and I just find that perhaps some of these websites and some of the newer sites that are arriving are so focused on the social media that they've forgotten actually why they should be there in the first place. They kind of lose their you know, initial concept of why they would have that website and what it actually does to help people. Apart from the fact that there are millions and millions of websites now. I mean, how the hell do you choose what to be on?
I also think there's something that's gone really bizarre is overkill as well. I mean,
Yes.
you know, if you get a bulletin once a week from, say, a corporation who's updating you on what they're doing, and there's something you're vaguely interested in, it's fine. But there's other people who will just spam the networks, and you know, it gets to the point where somebody you once followed, you now see a post from them, and you think, God, unfollow me quick. You know,
Yeah.
it's just they are becoming a pain in the ass. And you know, this is marketing, I suppose. They just think there's mileage in spamming people, when in fact spamming is the very thing that puts a lot of people off, in my opinion, including me. I hate this.
I have a really great story, very quickly. There's a social media marketing group on LinkedIn, and some guy said, let's all share our Twitters. Hello, my God, there's 200,000 people on there. Oh my God, can you imagine my poor Twitter account? Heaven's sakes. And then the guy who started it, I went, oh my gosh, I'm SOL. That's, I know I'm not supposed to swear on TV, but I went, oh my gosh. And all of a sudden these people were just like automatically following me on my Twitter account. And I'm pretty good with my Twitter account. I've only got, you know, so many followers. I'm only following so many people. And all of a sudden I've got like, you know, a gazillion Twitter followers. And then they started barking at me in LinkedIn. Like, oh, you're not following me back. I'm going like, well, wait a minute. I need time to find out who you are, what you do. And if you're interested, I'm interested in your information, because you guys know I work like 20 hours a day. And by the way, that's what I typed in earlier. Hang on one second, at twitmailer.com. If you use that as your Twitter account, just go there, and then you can like see who's following you on Twitter within your email account. You don't have to go onto Twitter, so that's very helpful. You can like see all their like last 30 Twitters.
Oh no,
like,
not more email. Oh
Yeah,
God.
exactly. Every time it's a follower, I get an email, and I'm fed up with ticking them.
But you have to go back to Twitter and find out who they are. The twitmailer.com thing is you can like see exactly who they are, and like you guys know how many, you know, emails I get a day. I can like take one look. I open up a box. So and so is following you. It's like, oh, and if I see anybody I recognize or any interesting information, you know, about science or education or stuff like that, you know, I'll go and add them. But okay, so anyhow, this one guy, the head of this LinkedIn group, said something. I use the automatic follow back, and I wrote back to the entire group. I said, whoa, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
That's just wrong to use an automatic. They exist, these programs that you can join, and they will automatically have you follow people back.
It is very, yeah, go on. I mean, because it is important, of course, because we all want to read about, you know, whether you brushed your hair today, whether Viagra is going to help you, you know, in amongst the rest of the junk mail you get about, you know, the interesting things that people are doing. I think it's very important that we do not miss out on the Viagra mails.
I'm going to ask you all a question, because you know, I have a view on this, but I'm going to ask you all a question. What I hear you saying is that you just don't want ordinary folk on the Twitter, right? And that you don't want to hear the detritus of their ordinary day. So, should there not be something separate for people like yourselves who want to do a marketing thing? The trouble is, of course, that you have your ordinary people in there, and really those are the people you want to market to. So you're just going to have to put up with it.
Oh, I'd agree with that. I mean, Twitter is, I suspect, if you're into marketing, a very valuable outlet. Because it's not, you know, it can get you to a lot of people, and it can particularly get you to fans. But you know,
they can get to you, though. They can get to you.
I don't know. I do. I'm beginning to think that Twitter's a one-way conversation, and I'm a schizophrenic, so it's very nice talking to myself 25 times a day.
The funniest thing that happens to me on Twitter, I have to say, is I get every time somebody follows me, as Bevan says, I've got an email system that tells me everybody new is following me, and I just don't even check them out or follow them back. But I do scan the list, so that if there's a name I do recognise and want to follow back, I do. But the funny thing is, all these sort of, I don't know, hot meals in London today or something will start following me on Twitter. I think, they just want me to follow them so they can spam me with their bulletins of, where all the hot meals in London today are.
What the worst is, Mal, and Bevan, this. Sorry, finish, Mal. Yeah, sorry.
Hang on. But the funniest thing is that I monitor Twitter for direct messages and for mentions. In other words, I've got a filter that will give me a summary of everything that's mentioned me during the day. And I get some of these people who have subscribed to me, right, who I haven't followed back, moaning at me, having subscribed to me, saying, what on earth are you talking about? They're clearly way out of my field of reference, but they, for some reason, have followed me to try and trick me into following them back. And then they start talking to me and mentioning the @Mal Burns thing, saying, what on earth is this guy talking about? Because they don't actually understand the subject matter I'm tweeting half the time. So I find that really funny, actually.
So are you drawing them into your lair?
Obviously.
I mean, will they watch your programs by becoming interested in what you're talking about? Because if they do, you've succeeded, Mal Burns.
Yeah, so absolutely. If 1 in 10 of these strange things that follow me gets interested in me and I find out about it, fine. There are advantages to this. It's just an awful lot of disadvantages. But sorry, Simi, you were about to say something.
No, I was just about to say
that my ending
is that we should be very wary because of the automated tweet bots, I call them, is that a lot of the time you're followed because of keywords. So if you put in a keyword, you automatically get people following you because they've got an automated tweet system, and that annoys me more than anything. Because the minute that you're putting in certain words into Twitter, you're going to get, somebody following you. So you feel, oh, wow, there's this, celebrity person, well-known person following me. But it's actually a load of bollocks because they're not interested in talking to you whatsoever. You've just put in one of the keywords in one of your tweets, and they automatically follow you. They have no interest in any sort of conversation or social media relationship whatsoever. And you can be and I've done it. And, over the last couple of weeks, I've been working very hard to try and promote the fact that I have a new website and plug. And so I've been very busy on Facebook and Twitter, and I've had followers that I've written back to, and I personally thank everybody that follows me. Because that's just me, and it takes a lot of time, and then I suddenly go and check out their profile, and I check this out, and I think, why would that particular person follow me? And they're not really; they're just gaining. They're trying to work it on the percentages. Is that if they catch a keyword, they follow that person. What's the percentage of people that will follow them back without having any interaction whatsoever?
I had a very funny thing with the keywords, actually. It's stuck in my mind because there's a place in Second Life called the Rose Theatre. And they have some wonderful concerts there, and they do all sorts of other things too, and it's a magnificent build. And on 3 occasions, my Twitter feed had a YouTube film I blogged, and a couple of other events there happening. And every single one of my mentions of the Rose Theatre has been retweeted by London Theatre. Even though it's not the same Rose Theatre they're thinking of. Now, that's good publicity for the Second Life Rose Theatre, but clearly whoever is doing this sort of automated tweet is not going to clearly read.
It's like meta tags, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Anyway,
I think it's awful because I think that it's made everything totally impersonal, and nobody gives a shit.
Well, no, actually, no, I'm sorry, Slimmy. You have to see how many people retweet you per week and which content they're retweeting and how many I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really bad about Friday followers. And
Yeah, I know, but they only retweet the fun
paper.li.
stuff like, oh, my drunk, I'm a bit God.
No,
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite get that, Slimmy.
Yes, but they're only retweeting the ones where I say, oh, my drunk, I'm a bit God. Which is just
Dear me. It's
I
very
think that's,
sad.
from your point of view, Slimmy, this thing about keywords is the trick. You know, if you've got keywords in there that relate to what you're trying to publicise, that's how they're going to be picked up, not the individual tweets. But anyhow, folks, believe it or not, this hour has sped by very quickly, and we only have about 5 or 6 minutes to go. So it's about time we started winding
Let's sit
up.
up all night.
Thank God for that.
Let's sit up all night long and drink wine and like keep chatting.
Yeah. Well, what we like to do at the end here, right, is regardless of everything we've been talking about today, which has been practically exclusively devoted to what they laughingly call social networks, we like to go around everybody individually and find out what's been bugging them individually, particularly this week. It can be real life, it can be the virtual world, like Second Life, where we're filming this from, or whatever you want, really. And in fact, it can be anything that's been bugging you for the last 3 weeks, or 3 years, for that matter, if you really want. So, let's see, I think I'm going to start with Slowhunting. You've been the quietest amongst us, I think. What's been on your mind of late that's really bugging you?
Oh, well, the first thing I need to talk about is I have to wear these nappy things. And
incontinence.
I knew we'd get on to this.
that's right. And they're like big knickers. And what happens is they chafe. They chafe.
Oh.
I am a very old lady and I have very thin skin. And it's always been beautifully smooth at the top of my legs. And it chafes, and I don't understand why they think that people should have things around the top of their legs that chafe.
Oh. No, I guess designers aren't very considerate when it comes to generation gap, are they?
I don't know, I think it's where the hashtag for the word chafe.
I think it's a very sad thing that they don't really care what they wrap you up in anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, Bevan, what's been bugging you, apart from all the things we've already discussed?
Well, I'm seriously bugged about the very evil no audio output devices installed. Huge, giant, 10 million people are Googling it, and it's happened to me. It's just really been a bitch. It's horrible. I don't even want to start. It has nothing to do with the sound card. It has nothing to do with the external sound card that I just bought. It's just, it's not Windows 7. It's not Windows Vista. It's just a very well-known problem, and I just want to cry. So I'm actually voicing right now on my kid's Toshiba. Okay, that's my biggest bitch. I'm grumpy. And my second one is like, I'm really trying to get my brain wrapped around this Empire Avenue because, wow, a lot of the really hardcore IT cool guys are just all over it. And I'm not too sure how to use it. I'm actually quite popular and got quote-unquote bought up a bit, but I don't... I was ready to not leave it, but whatever, just go and play with it. But now I've got all these like really hardcore IT guys like just going crazy on it. So that's why I'm grumpy about that.
I suspect I was passing on the Empire one, but I'll be keeping an eye open for it.
Yeah, you should. You should. It's like hardcore guys are on it. So
will you get attacked if you leave, if they've bought into you?
No, I would not. I would just look like a loser.
Oh, dear.
Or maybe I should go on it and collect all these so-called shares in me and then sell the shares. I don't know. Maybe that's not the idea. Okay, Slimmy, what's on your mind apart from what we've had already?
It's actually got nothing to do with being online. I will confess this evening for Grumpy Old Avatars that I have actually got a drink. And this particular drink, which does contain vodka, comes in a can.
Oh,
And on the top of the can,
dear.
there's a sticky label. So that when you open the can with the little ring pull, the sticky label is there. So I was not being very ladylike this evening, and I didn't pour it into a glass. I drank it out of the can, and the sticky label stuck to my nose, and I've only just realised that it's actually been stuck to my nose for the whole of this show.
I bet you're glad you're an avatar tonight.
You should send us a photo.
So my grumpiness this week is about who the hell puts a sticky label on a ring pull on a can?
Bad sticky label people in shops like that. They've probably got a machine and they're too lazy to go to the side, so they just go along the box doing it on the top. I don't know, I can just imagine. Okay, well, I think it's about time we rounded up. We're at 4 o'clock exactly. We started 2 minutes late, and by the time we're finished, I've finished. We will be 2 minutes late finishing. Might as well get that. So, thanks everybody for joining us. We will be back same time, same place next week. And who knows who our guests will be? Who knows what we'll be talking about? The only thing you can be sure of is we'll be grumpy, seriously grumpy in there somewhere. So, to round off, I'd like to thank my special guests. Firstly, thank you, Bevan.
Well, thank you for having me here at the lovely Grumpy Old Avatars studio.
It's been a pleasure. And thank you, Slowhunting. I think we've it sounds like he's taking a nap now. I had my nap before we started, so that's why I've been out during the program. And of course, it's thanks to my wonderful co-host Slim Warrior. Thank you, Slimmy. Would you like
You
to?
are very welcome as always, and if you would like to follow us on Twitter, please do so at Grumpy Old Avatar. We do have a blog spot, which is blogspot.com, Grumpy Old Avatars, and of course you can watch the replay whenever you like on metaversetv.com.
My face hurts.
Okay, I think that's just about conversation. Yes, we are all over the place, so keep your ears open. So, thanks everybody for being here. We will be back, same time, same place next week. And for now, I am signing off. And I've kind of lost me touch again, haven't I? But that's not your problem. Good night.